Fitness pro, health coach, you are in for a treat today. I'm sharing with you one of my favorite Flipping 50 fitness specialists. She's also been in the Build Your Business Mastermind this year, 2021, and a stellar student, I might add. And she is here to share her experience, her from even prior to joining Flipping 50 Fitness Specialists, her business. What made her start, what kept her going, who she works with, why, and what her special sauce is, so that you, as you listen, can determine, do you have that nailed in your business? And if she's got something she's working on that we talk about, you might also decide whether that might be a need or something you want to work on, or that you've already got it handled. So it's the opportunity to look over the shoulders of somebody who's also in the business right beside you in this mid-pandemic moment that we're in, and making things happen. This is Deborah Atkinson, and you're listening to Fitness Marketing Mastery, where I share marketing and sales strategies that are easy, enjoyable, even fun, so that you can have not only a business, but a life that you love. I share with you the marketing and the sales strategies that I used to start over. And after 50, go from 0 to 6-figure months, and you can too. Let's get started. My guest today is Jennifer Shaver from Fit with Shaver. She's a wife to her high school sweetheart, mom of 3 humans that keep her busy running from the soccer field to the track, and 2 fur babies. And that keeps her walking all over the neighborhood. She's a former endurance athlete who spent many years doing countless triathlons, 7 full marathons, and 9 half marathons. Jen didn't enter the age group world of running until age 33. But when she started, the only thing holding her back was her pain. During her endurance athlete time, she was suffering from bulging discs, anemia, and extreme joint pain because she didn't implement several important factors into her training as she was aging. As a child of the 80s, she is a reformed cardio junkie and has changed her ways and her pain. Jen is a former middle and high school Spanish teacher who's combined her love of teaching and enthusiasm for fitness together, and has taken her talents from the classroom to online to help busy midlife women learn to make exercise work for their body, for their hormones, and for their schedules. She offers a variety of online, at-home strength training classes for the everyday busy woman with no extreme moves. Jen describes all of her workouts as those that put the fun in functional training and are void of vomit-inducing burpees, crunches, and jumping. Just the functional movements that will lead to a strong, healthy life filled with enjoyment and movement. In other words, exercise that's sustainable long-term, not just a 30-day challenge. Jen helps women of all ages find their potential and gain the confidence and strength that's hidden within from the comfort of their own homes, where they avoid the lunk arms of the gym. She enjoys sharing her knowledge as a triple certified fitness expert to help women experience the mood and energy boosting benefits of exercise. Her workouts are designed to make clients feel empowered, not defeated. So, if you've ever wondered if and how you could get a good workout in from home without all the fancy gym equipment and finish feeling like you had a great workout, but not like you need a nap, Fit with Shaver has your answers. Jen, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, Deborah. I'm excited to be here and chat with you today.
So let's talk about back in the beginning. How did Fit with Shaver, how did that come to be? Where did that start?
Wow. Well, I would say it was born many years ago because I have always loved to exercise. And so back in the day, a long time ago, I used to do, I was always working out. And I actually used to do Denise Austin videos before I would go to work, religiously before work. So working out was always a part of my lifestyle and my routine. Um, and so then, at that time, it was just a passion of mine. And then my kids were born, and I stayed home and, gave up teaching and became a full time mom, a stay at home mom, and poured my heart and soul into that for 18 years. And then this thing called a pandemic happened, and life came to a screeching halt. And I realized that I had some time on my hands that I didn't have before, because with kids, you're always going here and there. And so now I had time to do what I wanted to do, which was pursue a career in the fitness industry and pursue that passion of mine. So I decided to take that time to become certified in with NASM, and then I also spent the time becoming a flipping 50 specialist.
Love it, of course. And you've been a rock star as far as that
Thank
goes
you.
in terms of the mastermind and your leaps and bounds. So we'll get into some of that as far as how your business grew or changed over this
Hmm.
past year. Not that we can
Right.
say we're post pandemic, but I think mid pandemic and maybe settled into the fact that life as we knew it is no longer, and looking at where are we going now. So tell listeners, what exactly do you do at this point with Fit with Shaver? I mean, describe your business model when clients find you and come in. What are their options, or what's their customer journey?
Well, I currently offer online and on demand strength training classes for the midlife woman through my program that is called Strong for Life. And the program, I have designed it for women of all levels because it uses moves that are functional to help them build and keep the strength they need as they age to continue to do the activities they enjoy, like walking, hiking, or gardening. So, my program is filled with exercises for every single level. And it is all online and it is all on demand. And when I first started the program, I was doing live workouts along with on demand. But then I found that the live was not as well attended. So I switched to all on demand because that seemed to work better for my clients. Um, that way they could access it whenever they want. Most of them are busy midlife women. And when you do just a live, you tend to cut out a segment of women who, because of their schedule. Whereas if you do an on demand, then now the workout will fit into their schedule because they can do the workout when it works for them.
Yeah, so good. And how's that freed you up personally?
It has been really nice because I am able to tape several episodes and then block out time to manage my time a lot better. So I can do workouts one day, I can do social media calendar another day. It's just kind of helped with my organization of my own schedule with the business itself, and to streamline it a lot better.
So good. So it's a technique I call sometimes batching, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah, correct. Yeah.
get into that one mode and get into this mode. And, sometimes when you're everybody listening, I guarantee you, has done this once. Maybe you don't fall into this trap a lot, but we get into the trap of, oh, shoot, I haven't posted today. And then we're just like posting on the fly. But then tomorrow you're in the exact same place. If you didn't block out, how do I plan my publishing calendar for this coming year. So I love the fact that you're much more organized, probably getting a lot more done in a lot less time because of it. Talk
Right,
a
right. And that,
little. Go ahead.
well, it's just like we tell our clients, we tell them, you need to have a plan. You can't just go willy-nilly, just go searching on YouTube for exercise videos. You want to have a plan. And it was the same thing with the business. You need to have a plan. So the batching, as you referred to it, helps to create that plan.
Love it. Okay. So you've mentioned this a couple different times. So midlife
Mhm,
women, busy midlife
mhm.
women. Talk a little bit more specifically about your niche. I mean, who is she? Do you have like that one avatar? Like who is she? What does she read? What does she worry about? How much does she spend? What would she not bat an eye about spending? And where does she start to think, oh, I might need to think about that? I really, who's your niche? Because there are so many midlife women.
Right, right. Most of my clients are working moms who have kids, I would say, maybe finishing elementary, heading into middle or high school, in that range. And most of them, as I said, are working. And so they're trying to navigate not only their own work schedules, but their kids' school schedules and their kids' sports schedules. So they have more than just one thing that they're trying to work through. So that's why I mentioned that the on demand did tend to work the best for them, because they can find the time that works best in their schedule to get that workout in.
Love that. Curious about that. So there's there's an immediate, I don't know what I would call it. It's not oxytocin because they're not there. You can't give them a hug, but
Hmm.
there's some immediate gratitude when you are at a live class, even if it's virtual, right? That
Right.
like you showed up, you can prove your attendance. Do you do anything with your on demand? Is there anything to reward them or show complete that they've done this that gives them that little piece of satisfaction, accomplishment?
I have had ladies say that even though it's not live anymore, and this is coming from several of the ones that did do the live videos when we switched to all on demand. Some of them were a little nervous about that because they were nervous about the fact, well, if it's live, I kind of have that accountability factor and I really need that accountability factor. But many of them have mentioned that, oh my gosh, I still feel, even though we're on demand, I still feel like I'm right there next to you and you can see me. And that, they say there really isn't a change, even though the perception that they had in their mind before we switched to that on demand was that it was going to feel like almost lonely, I guess you could say. They say that they feel, oh my gosh, I feel like we're still together and we're best friends and we're working out and you're right next to me doing it with me.
Sweet. Love that. Okay. So I've got a question just for anybody listening who is thinking about preparing for Ready to. And if you don't know, you are, because this is what happens in business. You prepared for that change. So you probably thought about it, saw the need, or realized this is going to be better for them. How much time did you give your customers, participants, before you switched? How much notice did you tell them? Did you ask them? Did you survey them? Did you just say, in X amount of time, we're going to be changing?
I gave them about 4 weeks notice, and it really wasn't up for discussion only because of my schedule. When school started, really wasn't an option for me to. Class was previously held at 7 a.m., and then once school started, I have a kid. I have to get to school at 7:15, so that's right smack dab in the middle of class. Um, so it really wasn't an option, should we move to just on demand and still have a live? Because 7 o'clock was the only time that most of that those that were doing the live could make the live. So switching the time wasn't an option for them. So that's why we had to just go to all on demand.
Fantastic. So have you seen an uptick in the amount of participants that you've had because you've changed to on demand? There's no limitations, right?
Right.
So
Correct. Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
what's
So
happened for you?
I have seen, my classes have grown now that it is fully on demand. And I think for some reason, even though when it was live, that on demand option was still there for those that couldn't make the live, but I feel like many women didn't sign up, and they told me because they couldn't make the live session. And so they didn't feel like, oh, if I can't make the live, but then now I have more since it's on demand. So the on demand has really worked out in everyone's favor.
Great. So good. Okay. Um, Tell me something. So let's dig into the less fun, nitty gritty, dirty stuff. And like, what's been the hardest part of, having started your business and kind of grown with it? What's been the hardest part for you?
Oh, wow. Well, the actual business part, it's really difficult because that's not my background. I was, I was a Spanish teacher, so I have an education degree, not a business degree, and I love to teach. And teaching, um, that's what's in my wheelhouse, and that's where I am the most comfortable. It's what I enjoy doing the most. Um, so the business aspect is something that I have really struggled with, along with marketing, which is another thing that I just have. I mean, that's a foreign language to me. Never mind Spanish. Spanish is good. Marketing is like what is complete Greek to me, if you will. And the flipping 50 specialist class and the marketing class, the mastery class with the marketing, was an integral part and very helpful in getting me to understand the ins and the outs and better ways to communicate with my clients and with, my avatar.
Fantastic. Okay. So, what would you say you've learned from starting your business to now in terms of how has it evolved? I know you kind of
Mhm.
alluded to some changes that when you first started thinking, X, and then kind of took a turn. So describe that.
Right, it did. And I think this is important for anybody that is starting a business. You have to make sure that you do keep an open mind. I went into this thinking that I wanted to do one-on-one and create one-on-one training plans for women. Um, and I have done a complete 180 because that's not where I'm at. And that's not what I have any interest in doing. And who knew? I mean, that's what I thought I wanted to do, but that's not what ended up being something that I wanted to focus on. So, I went from being this one on one to playing to my strengths. And as I said, being a former teacher, my strength is teaching. I love to teach. And so that's why the group online classes, the on demand classes, have been A, so much fun for me, but B, also fun for my clients because that's where they can get the best of me. And I don't think they were getting the best of me in the one on one, I'll create a monthly plan for you. So I think finding what your strengths are and playing towards those strengths, just because maybe you think one thing, look at the big picture, see what your strengths are, and go with your strengths.
So I'm going to see if I can pull something out of you. So
Yeah.
what do you think? about your teaching style. If you had to put it into words, what makes you as a fitness instructor unique? Are there things you hear from your clients over and over about what you do for them?
Yeah, and it's funny because I did just have a couple ladies say this. They say, oh, we just love how you tell us where we're supposed to be feeling it and why we're doing this exercise. And I thought, I didn't realize that I was doing that, you know, but the reason is because when I exercise, I want to know the why. Why am I doing this exercise? Why is this exercise important? I don't just want to do it because, oh, it's on the schedule or, oh, I read it in a magazine that this is a good exercise. I want to know, how is this going to help me? What is the point of this exercise? What is it working? And why am I doing it? And so, in class, I explain we are doing this, for example, we are doing these squats because think of how many times in a day you do a squat, and you're going to continue to do them throughout your life. And you have to keep those muscles strong if you want to be able to continue to get in and out of your car without help.
Love
So
it.
I think I'm a very why person.
Yeah, yeah, very, very good. So have you tied that into your tagline or your marketing?
I do find that I do sometimes, but not enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Somewhere there's a tease or a tagline in there, like
Mm-hmm.
something about teaching where the why, we should play with that. Definitely.
Right.
And if you're listening, you have the same. You have the same thing. Not the same as Jen said, but you have that same unique thing that there's a saying that goes, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. You potentially take for granted something that comes so naturally to you. You do it over and over without realizing the value of it for someone else. So if you have not discovered that, I know the only way I know now what mine is, but I'm sure I learned it from feedback from clients or students. I didn't just make it up, right? So look for, repeatedly things that it could even be friends and family members. If you don't have a lot of testimonials or students or clients yet, look for, why do people come to you? What do they come to you and ask you for? Or what do they appreciate and thank you for? Because those are little keys to, what you can say about yourself in your marketing, what's unique about you. Because let's face it, we can all say that we're certified. Many of us can say maybe we have degrees. We can say we have X amount of years of experience. That doesn't set you apart. But something about the way you do what you do sets you apart, as well as who you do it for specifically. And I think one thing that came out in regard to, Jen, who you work with, was equally who you don't work with. So in the bio that I read, and everybody listening knows that when I read a bio, the the interviewee has sent me the bio, right? So in the way you describe the way you define or create your workouts, we know who you don't work with. You don't work with the people who want a 30 a day fast fix, the people who want to go from a size 4 to a 2. You're not really, focused on that. You're focused on somebody entirely different. And I think that's as valuable as knowing who is your niche, who's your avatar that you do work with. So, we want the right butts in the seats, right? That's the people you
Right.
love working with and that will love working with you. So
Right.
don't be afraid. We can do that without offending anybody, listeners, but it is probably a good idea that very clearly you're not just everybody's trainer. You're somebody specific's trainer. Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to ask almost a repeat question, but has there been
Mhm.
one big aha about the business of fitness for you?
Um, I would just say that, yeah, I mean, the aha would be I've had in terms of the direction that I wanted to go and switching that direction and being comfortable enough to, um, you know, tell people who have come to me looking to do that one-on-one and the simple word of no and being, confident in knowing that that's not the direction that I want to go and being comfortable enough to say no. Because I think as women, we do have trouble saying no. And then, especially, we want to be helpers, right? And so saying no is hard, especially, I want to help these women. I want them to do their fitness, but that's not the direction. So if you want to work with me and knowing who you want to work with and who your client is, like you just said, knowing who you want to work with, right? If Susie shows up on my doorstep and wants to be a size 2, well, that's not how my plan works. We're not looking, I'm not looking to help you to be on the cover of a magazine. I'm looking to help you be strong, right?
Love it. Yep.
So
Love
knowing who
it.
your client is and, being comfortable enough to say who the right fit is. You have to be okay with letting some go.
Great point. Great point. And to that point, listeners, I can tell you that I've given back thousands of dollars this year. I and it's actually, it felt good to give it back. Now, don't get me wrong. I think I work really hard for every penny, right? But
Right.
and we take it personally. Don't let anybody tell you business isn't personal, because I think especially in the business we're in, it's all very personal. But refunding clients for whom I was not a good fit and or felt I needed to fire, right? It just wasn't going to work, was one of the best and most freeing things I've done this year. And I'm able to do it every time I do it. It's probably going to get a little scary around these parts, but I'm able to do it easier, for everyone I do. But I think that means not that there will be more refunds. It's just there will be fewer yeses, and they'll be selective, and they'll be meaningful relationships with clients I do want to work with when it's a yeah. So
Right.
that was a great comment, being okay letting people go. What do you want? So what's ahead for you? I mean, we've, been on for so many reasons, of course, talked about the last 20, 22 months now of
Hmm.
pandemic and how that's changed just so much. And in some ways, for somebody online, starting online, growing online, for the better, because it's become a must do for everybody in the world. So there's almost no reason why someone could not work with you online,
Right.
in that everybody's been made comfortable, not because of fitness, but because of the life they had to get online. So it's opened up the world. But going forward, what do you want for your business in 2022? What kind of goals are you setting?
Well, I'd like to continue to grow my client base, and just continue to grow the program, the Strong for Life program itself. Um, I am switching a couple things up in terms of how the class works. Instead of doing 8-week sessions as I was doing, just continuing the program. So it doesn't have a beginning or an end. It's an ongoing, if you will, program. So as not to make somebody wait, the full 8 weeks
Mm-hmm.
if they miss signing up. I think I was missing a few on that because I did have quite a few people contact me that were, we would be in the middle of a session and
Mm-hmm.
then they would kind of lose interest because the session would end. And so rather than just have these 8-week sessions, it's just going to be an open book, if you will, where you can come on in and join us as we work. I do want to continue to refine my systems, if you will, so that way it's a little more streamlined in terms of the batching and maybe, trying to get a little more ahead and continue
Got,
working with getting comfortable with the marketing.
got it. So with your workflow, meaning just have a little bit more systematic workflow.
Right.
Yeah, got it. Okay, sweet. All right. So do you put monetary numbers or specific growth numbers in people that you want to help in terms of your goals? When you say
Yeah.
you want to grow,
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I guess you have to, right? How
Hmm.
else do you measure? It's the only way to measure your goals, right?
Hmm.
So we have to measure our goal. We have to have some way to measure those goals. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I would like to. My class has doubled since the very first class. I have doubled. So I would like to, you know, by the 1 year mark, I would like to see that double again.
Fantastic. Okay, great goal. You know, I'm going to be checking on you on that one.
I know
Okay.
it.
Okay, Jen. So, for anybody listening, so we've got trainers and we've got health coaches listening, some
Mhm.
smaller studio owners listening. Anything that you want to add, something that you would say to somebody, knowing some of those people out there are struggling, maybe have been working for gyms or facilities where not everybody is coming back yet. Any last words of wisdom that you'd like to share?
I would just say that make sure that what you're doing, that you're on the path that you want to be on and not somebody else's path. Not the path that you think, but the path that feels comfortable and is right for you.
Great words of wisdom. Great
Really
words to end
follow
with.
your heart.
Love it. Jen, where can listeners, if they want to watch over your shoulder, see what you're doing, where can they find more Jen?
Um, my website is fitwithshaver.com, and I am also on Instagram, Fit with Shaver, or on Facebook, Fit with Shaver.
Very consistent. Love it.
Yep.
Jen, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Deborah. It was great to chat.
All right, listeners. So there you have it. One success story, specific niche, and someone who knows her why. So now it's your turn. Think about what's your why, who's the person you're doing it for, and what's unique about you, and what are you waiting for? The world needs you right now more than ever.